You are watching Nimasa This Week, the authorized voice for the Nigerian maritime sector. My name is Iwesiola Doyle and you are welcome. Now, once every year, the cream of the Nigerian maritime industry come together to exhibit the enormous potentials that exist within the maritime sector. Now, Nimasa, being a key agency within this sector, is expected to play a huge role during the annual event. Members of Nimasa This Week were there to cover the very colorful opening event of the Nigerian Maritime Expo, otherwise known as Nimarex 2013. Here's that report now.
The maritime industry's flagship event, Nimarex, kicked off on Tuesday the 12th of March at the Eco Hotel and Suites in Victoria Island. The colorful opening ceremony was well attended by the who is who, as well as the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who was also the chairman of the occasion. Barrister Mrs. Margaret Orakusi, the chairperson of Nimarex 2013 Organizing Committee, gave a formal opening address.
Nigerian Maritime Expo, otherwise known as Nimarex, is a platform created by governments and the organized private sector in the maritime industry in a bid to showcase Nigerians' enormous potential to the world. Nimarex offers a holistic business experience by combining conference and exhibitions that will update the audience on the state of the maritime industry in Nigeria and connect key companies in the maritime sector to international maritime operators. Strategically, the Expo is aimed at attracting serious investors who will exploit available opportunities and open up business for the industry.
Nimarex in this third edition has established itself as the premier event that brings all the relevant stakeholders together for the purpose of forging a way forward for the maritime industry. The Indigenous Ship Owners Association of Nigeria, ISAN, was well represented, and its chairman, Chief Isaac Jolakpamo, used the occasion to speak highly of the Apex Maritime Regulatory Agency, Nimasa.
Our ships are being repaired now by Nimasa. The president has also asked for a retreat, which culminated into a presidential committee that is working on harnessing the potential of our maritime industry under the chairmanship of our Minister of Transport. And very shortly, like I said, things will start getting better for all of us in the maritime industry.
The president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, was billed to be the special guest of honor with the responsibility of declaring the expo open, but was, however, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Transport, Senator Idris Umar.
It is my privilege and honor to be here today to declare open the Nigeria Maritime Expo, Nimarex 2013. This annual event, initiated in 2011, has no doubt provided an ideal forum for displaying an assemblage of various maritime products, new technologies, services and expertise, and also provide a platform to open up various business opportunities in Nigeria's growing maritime sector. I urge you to take full advantage of this 3-day event, not only to showcase Nigeria's maritime potentials and creating awareness of the investment opportunities available there, but also to come up with suggestions and recommendations on how best we can attain the desired objectives in the maritime sector development. On our part, we shall continue to encourage, cooperate, and provide an enabling environment for the participation of the private sector in the continuous growth of the industry.
One of the distinguished guests at the occasion, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola, was represented by his Commissioner for Transport, Kayode Okpeifa, who reiterated the government's plan to consolidate the maritime industry.
We have invested so much on road transportation. You can see the enormous investment in the road construction. We are doing much on the Lagos-Badagry Expressway to assist our partners in the maritime sector, so that when you bring in the goods, and for our partners at home, when they manufacture the goods, to have an expanded market of the entire West African sub-region to capture. We have made extensive investment in the rail. But the greatest of our investment will be in the maritime sector when the deep ports comes to them.
Nimerex 2013 would not have been possible without the substantial support the organizing committee received from Nimasa. It was therefore no surprise that the Director General of Nimasa, Ziakede Patrick Akpoblo-Kemi, was invited to say a few words at the opening ceremony.
First of all, I thank God that most of us that were here last year are here today. And I also see the participation in the numerous activities increasing. Nimasa has been partnering with Nimerex from the beginning and will continue to partner with them. May God grant all the participants here safe trip back home, and may Nimerex 2014 be 100 times better than this.
One of the speakers at the opening ceremony, Mr. Leke Oyewole, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Maritime Issues, used the opportunity to inform stakeholders about the progress being made on one of the maritime industry's most vexing problems, piracy.
When this administration came to power, attacks on ships were daily, even to the quays at the ports. But today, I'm very, very happy and delighted to say that in the past 3 months, even those that wanted to happen, we have been able to stand up to it. Let me especially thank the Nigerian Navy and the Air Force. They have helped a lot in our efforts to combat piracy. They deserve really good round of applause. They have assisted Nimasa, and you can imagine the superior view of the Air Force when they are airborne. It is one thing to identify that piracy is taking place at one end. Getting there on time is a major problem, even by the Navy.
The chairman of the occasion, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, came to the event rather late due to pressing engagements. He was given a rousing welcome upon arrival and went on to give an informed overview of the strategic position of the maritime sector in his speech.
Nigeria is a cargo-owning nation and generates more than 70% of cargo through the West and Central Africa. Presently, the maritime sector is characterized by the domination of foreign flag vessels, especially those developed market economies of Western Europe and America. This situation has led to the loss of billions of naira annually in freight revenue. With the demise of our national shipping and tanker companies, credit must be given to our indigenous ship owners who saw it fit to have investment in shipping. I am told that funds in excess of $2 billion have been invested in various ship types, but no appreciable return on their investment yet. The reason for this must be properly addressed, as no nation can afford a non-performing maritime industry, gulping billions of dollars of either private or public investment.
As part of the opening formalities, the dignitaries led by Chief Obasanjo were led on a tour of exhibitors' stand. Nimasa this week caught up with the Director General of Nimasa, Ziakede Patrick Akpobolo Kemi, at the exhibition stand, and he pledged the agency's continued support for Nimerex.
We will continue assisting Nimerex because it's like a private-public partnership arrangement. So that because in both sides of the divide, you need the other party to move forward. They need us, we also need them. And therefore, it is good that we help them in occasions like this so that we can showcase what is available, what challenges that are there, and steps that are taken in overcoming the challenges. So we'll continue to be there for them.
Nimasa this week saw the views of some stakeholders as regards this year's maritime exhibition.
We have seen the maritime potentials of other countries, and we feel it's high time people come to Nigeria to come and see the maritime potentials of our country.
There is need to educate and enlighten and open up the maritime industry in Nigeria, because there is a lot to be harnessed in the maritime industry.
Nimerex 2013 ends today, Thursday the 14th of March, and it is expected that it would have gone a long way in advancing the cause of the maritime industry.
Very impressive, wouldn't you say? Now, our next report is on a very vital aspect of the maritime trade as it relates to the registration of ships. It promises to be very enlightening. Here's that report.
In Nigeria, the responsibility for the administration of the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea resides with the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. A major aspect of the convention relates to the registration and licensing of vessels. At Nimasa, the Nigerian Ship Registration Office exists for the sole purpose of carrying out this most important function. S.A. Abdul Salam, the Registrar of Ships at Nimasa, gave us an insight into the reasons why ships ought to be registered.
This is to ensure that the vessels are not only seaworthy, they are also cargo-worthy. They must meet not only our domestic standards, our domestic safety standards, safety and environmental standards, they must also meet the international requirements, because vessels trade across jurisdiction all over the world. So there are conventions or treaties that Nigeria ratified. Normally these treaties are adopted by the International Maritime Organization to ensure that vessels are safe, they meet environmental standards, and they meet safety standards for the safety of life at sea. And therefore, the registry must ensure that, apart from the corporate documents, the vessel also has the technical, safety, and environmental standards. Must meet those standards before we register those vessels.
Abdul Kadri Kolakbo, the Deputy Registrar of Ships at Nimasa, went on to underscore another reason why ship registration is needful.
If a ship commits any kind of crime or illegal activities, how do you identify it? That's why it is more fundamental that a ship must be registered and identified with a nation. If a ship is registered in Nigeria, it will fly Nigerian flags. Anywhere it goes to in the world, it will be recognized as a nation, as Nigeria that has come to that country. That's why it is called a moving nation. So it is very fundamental and very important that everybody that owns a ship must register it with its own country of choice.
In essence, ship registration is the process by which a vessel is documented and recognized by a country. The country is usually known as the flag state of the vessel. It is akin to a situation where a citizen owes some duties to and is subject to the laws of his or her nation.
In the same vein, the flag state of a ship exercises a measure of control over a vessel as it relates to the certification and inspection of a ship's equipment and crew. There are two types of registries of ships operated by various nations. There is the open registry system, which allows vessels of other states or nations to be registered and permitted to fly the flag of the registering state. On the other hand, there is the closed system of registration which Nigeria operates, where only ships belonging to Nigerian nationals or Nigerian registered companies are registered by the Nigerian Ship Registration Office, and thus have the privilege of flying the Nigerian flag.
We operate a closed registry, which is different from open registry. For instance, someone like you who is in the press, you might have heard that maybe Liberia has very huge fleet. Liberia, Panama have maybe the largest fleet in the world in terms of registration. That doesn't mean that the vessel registered under the Liberian flag are owned by Liberians. No, because they operate what you call the open registry, which means there's no genuine link between the registered owners and the country in which the vessel is registered. Now, people do it for so many reasons. Tax benefits.
The Merchant Shipping Act of 2007 requires that every ship trading in Nigeria possesses a certificate of registration. The Act specifically states that no ship shall operate commercially in or from the waters of Nigeria unless the ship is A. a Nigerian registered ship, B. provided with a certificate of foreign registration or other document similar to or equivalent to that required by this Act, C. registered by the law of a country other than Nigeria as a ship of that country exempt from registration, D. pursuant to subsection 2 of this section, exempted from registration under this Act. Subsection 2 of the Act empowers the minister by notice to exempt generally or specifically from registration under the Act a Nigerian licensed ship or a class of Nigerian ship when operating outside the waters of Nigeria. The Nigerian Ship Registration Office under the Act is required to keep separate registers for the following categories of vessels: A. Merchant ships, B. Fishing vessels, C. Ships under construction, D. Ships on bareboat charters and other charters exceeding 12 months duration, E. Licensed ships under 15 gross tons, F. Floating production, storage and offloading vessels FPSO and floating storage and offloading vessels FSO. These are usually operated by the oil and gas industry. Mohammed Bapa, the Chief Ship Registration Officer at Nimasa, gave us a rundown of the requirements for the registration of a ship in Nigeria.
Our laws require persons that are qualified to own a Nigerian vessel must meet certain qualification. First, that person must be a citizen of Nigeria. 2, if it is a corporate body, that corporate body must be registered under the Nigerian law. And thirdly, person prescribed by the minister. But basically, we now allow corporate body, even individual, to come under the corporate body to register their vessel. That is why we ask you to present all the necessary requirements for the registration of this company, such as evidence of registration, that is certificate of incorporation, memorandum and article of association of that company, CTC of the from CO2, that is allotment of share of that company, and particulars of the director, who details the names of the directors of the company. And also we request for the their company tax clearance. At least a good company must be able to present evidence that he's paying his tax to the government. And also, we need to see a bank reference telling us that yes, you are a clean businessman doing a good business. You have a banker who can attest, the bank can attest to that.
Members of staff of Nimasa recently had cause to celebrate with one of their own as the head of the PR department of the agency, Hajia Lami Tumaka, was conferred with another prestigious award, this time coming from a Kaduna-based NGO. Up next is a report on the brief but very impressive conferment ceremony.
Some representatives of the Hope Arewa Development Initiative visited the office of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa on the 8th of March 2013 to confer the Arewa Inspirational Leadership Award of 2012 on Hajia Lami Tumaka, the head of the agency's public relations. The 2012 Arewa Inspirational Leadership Award 2012 took place last year in Abuja. However, Hajia Lami was unable to attend due to pressing official duties. The Executive Director of Finance and Administration of the agency, Haruna Baba Jaoru, was there to receive the award on behalf of the Agency Director General, Mr. Patrick Zakede Akpobolokemi, who was unavoidably absent. The immediate past president of the Hope Arewa Initiative, Mohammed Koala, stated that Hajia Lami Tumaka's immense contribution to youth empowerment in the North and a relentless effort at sensitizing the Northern youths about the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program, NSDP, which is one of the major programs of the agency, are some of the reasons why she was nominated for the prestigious award.
We're particularly impressed with the effort she made in sensitizing the northern youths in accepting one of your major programs in this agency, which is the Seafarers Development Program. You can see that since the program was introduced about 2-3 years ago, the North has keyed into the program. Secondly, she has a program which is silent, actually, a foundation where she sponsors indigent students in the North who can't afford to pay some of the exam fees and school fees and what have you.
Aside from the Arewa Inspirational Leadership Award, Mohammed Koala also informed the DG's representative that Hajia Lami Tumaka had been nominated for some other prestigious awards.
The Office of the Secretary to the Federal Government sent letters to the civil society organizations and non-governmental organizations to nominate credible Nigerians who they believe or who feel deserve to be honored with the Centenary National Honors Award. So we are using this opportunity to tell you here that we have nominated Hajia Lami.
The delegation from the Hope Arewa Initiative then proceeded to hand over the plaque of the award to the Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Haruna Baba Joro.
We want to say we are proud as an agency to have somebody like Tumaka in the midst of us, who can be a recipient of such honors, such awards, and that we can also be partakers today. And so once again, we want to really welcome all of you and to say more grace, to add more grace to Hajia Tumaka's elbows as she continues in her noble cause of promoting development in this country. I want to say that it's my honor to represent the DG today to present this gift to our abled public relations practitioner that is being recognized today countrywide.
In our response, Hajia Tumaka was quick to declare the immense role of Nimasa in the achievements that the Arewa Hope Initiative have credited to her.
I dedicate this to the entire Nimasa staff, and I must use this opportunity as well of thanking the Director General, Mr. Zakede Akpobolokemi, for the opportunity he has given the PR unit to flourish, to shine, to do our job.
That is our show for this week. We sincerely hope we kept you informed and educated. Now, please do not forget, Nimasa this week is an interactive show. We want to hear your comments, your questions, and even your criticisms where they are necessary. So all you need to do is send those comments to the email address currently showing on your screen. I'm going to be here same time, same station next week. Until then, I'm wishing you smooth sailing and bon voyage.